Hello, Aston Villa fans, and welcome to For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast. And well, I've waited long enough to do a Villa AM, and I know that you have waited long enough to hear one and to hear that intro music again that I know that you all love. But I wanted to come during this international break and talk to you about almost go not so much go position by position, but essentially almost even go player by player. Give my synopsis of each player as the days to give you a little to give you a little 8 minute synopsis, should I say, or less, of each player or each position group, just to kind of fill in the gap over the days of this international period. Because I've had a lot of thoughts and a lot of there's been a lot of thinking going on from where we were even 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago to where we are now, and how some players have changed their performances and how their output has changed, and how their positioning has changed, how their statistical output has changed. So, going to try and bring you this series over the course of this international break to help keep a small bit of Aston Villa flowing while everybody is waiting and watching all of the international football. And today we're going to start off. We're going to lump the two guys together. We're going to start off with the goalkeepers union. Obviously, Emi Martinez was the name on everybody's lips over the summer. Will he? Won't he? A bit of a soap opera there with him over the summer. And while that was going on, Aston Villa made a pretty astute signing, I think it's fair to say, in the form of Marco Bizot coming in from Brest for a meager enough outlay. Some people say it's 2 million. Some people say it was 3.5. I think regardless of what it was, it was nothing like the money that Aston Villa have spent previously. And let's take a little look at these two goalkeepers and how they've started off the season, because I think it's been a huge story within a story, and it's also been in the main, actually, I suppose not in the main, absolutely overall, it's been a huge positive. So let's take a little look first at Mr. Emi Martinez. So far this season, Emi Martinez has played 5 games for Aston Villa. He's had 4 goals against. He's goal against per 90 is 0.80. He's had 13 shots to face this season. He's had 9 saves with a save percentage of 69.2% and a clean sheet percentage of 20%. And that's translated to 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss for so far for Aston Villa. So Emi Martinez had a bit of penance to make. He had to do a lot of soul searching, an awful lot of, I don't know whether it was an awful lot of sorries, but he had to do an awful lot of reintegration, I would imagine, behind the scenes. And he has done that. And I think in the main, when we look at the games that he's played, when we look at the the caliber of the guy that he is, yes, he's been injured once or twice this year. If he wasn't injured in those games, albeit he couldn't play the first game because he was suspended, but if he wasn't injured for those games, he probably starts. Outside of probably the League Cup, maybe outside of the Europa League games, I think that he starts any of those games. So I think all in all, we have to say that Emi Martinez has been, he's been a professional. He's come in, he's done his job. He's not made it all about him, and I have to say that I've been pretty impressed with the reintegration, regardless of whether we've had some duff games with him, regardless of whether or not with him, but I mean duff results at the start of the season when he was in between the sticks. I'm not too worried. And look, Emi Martinez, once again, we're absolutely delighted that we have the world's number 1 or a goalkeeper of his caliber, and I think that that's definitely something that Aston Villa fans are proud of, or should be proud of. When we look at his statistics as well, over the course of these are over the last 365 days, obviously. But what we can see here, big things that jump out for Emi Martinez are penalty kicks, save percentage, and also crosses stopped percentage, along with the amount of touches that he takes of the ball. And we know he is a platform that can take that ball. Sometimes he drives people mad. There's a bit of squeaky bum time as well when he's trying to pass that ball off from the back. But in the main, he's been very, very productive. And I think fair play to him for the way that he started this season. Now, let's get on to the man I think that there's probably a bigger conversation, a bigger story to talk about. And that's Marco Bizot. Because Marco Bizot, I think a lot of people, well, yours truly here, was not 100% sure of his game. And does this man have game? Absolutely. This man is a serious shot stopper. And we can see here some of his statistics. 5 games, 4 goals against. 0.80, exactly the same as Emi Martinez. But he's had to face 25 shots in all competitions. He's had 21 saves, and 15 of those 25 shots came in the Europa League. He's had 21 saves with an 88% save percentage and a 60% clean sheet percentage, which has culminated in 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. And I want to give him his flowers because I think we should, because this man has been really good. We've gone through the doldrums previously of having pretty ropey backup goalkeepers. And I think the first 5 games of this year so far, I think it's pretty fair to say that those days are gone. We have a very, very good backup goalkeeper. I would go so far as to say that we would definitely have a top 3, maybe top 4, definitely top 5, maybe even a top 3 set of goalkeepers in the Premier League currently. They're both very, very good and very dependable. And so far this year, they've both been very good and very dependable. And one of the things for Marco Bizzat is he's shown he can save those shots. But I think what I've been most impressed with is how quickly he's come to terms with being able to play that ball at his feet. I'm not going to sit here and claim that I know everything about him from his time at Brest, or his time at AZ Alkmaar, or his time at Groningen, or any of those teams that he played with in his past. But what I know of is what I've seen for Aston Villa, and even in pre-season when he was getting quite a lot of games. See, the comfortability level. I'm not going to say that it wasn't there. The comfortability level wasn't there when he was playing out from the back. But there was some overhit passes. There was some rushed passes. There was some rushes to go long. I think now, even with being getting used to this Unai Emery situation and getting used to how the team plays, getting used to playing with those players and where they like to go and the formation like to sit, like to stay in. I think that he's been a massive positive and definitely somebody that I think that a lot of Aston Villa fans have gravitated towards. Looking at his percentages here, these are over the last 365 days. We can see average distance of defensive action. He comes right out to his 18-yard box. Defensive actions outside the penalty area, crosses top. He's been a very, very solid, very, very good, and very, very surprising player for Aston Villa since he's joined the club. So well done, Marco Bizzat. And also well done, Emi Martinez, for coming back after a tumultuous summer as well. So that's going to do it for us today for Villa AM and these short, just over 8-minute podcasts. And today we're talking about the Goalkeepers Union. Stay tuned. Tomorrow we're going to come back to you and talk about a certain Matty Cash and see, because I've got a lot that I want to say about Matty Cash, specifically about how he started the season. So thanks so much, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy. And all that's left to say is up the Villa.
It's Villa in the morning.